Hey guys, 𝗪𝗏𝗃 here, and today I'm going to be showing you my drawing concept in Minecraft. So this is pretty similar to like the build battle style that you'd see on some minigame servers, and I thought I'd try and recreate that in Minecraft, or at least the drawing aspect of it. So let me just quickly show you how that works. This will clear it, and this gives you all the blocks you need, and the rest are in your inventory if you want them. So how this works is you just simply point and click. Just right click like normal, and you can draw whatever you want in whatever shape you want. It's really simple. You can't like draw on the outsides or in the air or anything. It's only on this concrete here. This part wasn't that difficult to do, but the part that I'm really happy with is if you shift and then click, it actually fills in the area, and it works exactly like you'd think it would. So if I do anything off to the side here, and then shift, it'll fill it in. If I do it on the background, it takes a second because it's taken a lot of commands, but it does fill it in. If I wanted to fill in this section with a different color, it would do that. So everything works just as expected. Now, this is a fairly versatile method, so you could use this in your own thing. I did make this into a data pack, so I'm going to have the world file with the data pack in it in the description, so you can download this. Just put it in your save file, and you can just do whatever you want if you just want to mess with it, or take the data pack out if you want to implement it into your own builds or whatever you want to do with it. But it's fairly simple if you want to use it for your own thing. It only takes a little bit of setup if you want it to get working properly. Also, this is multiplayer friendly, so if you want to use this on a server, you can feel free to do that. I haven't tested it in multiplayer, but I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. So let me just explain quickly how this is all working, so if you want to use it on your own, you can figure out how to do it yourself. So to set it up, you're going to need some kind of designated area to start from. This does work from any location. Like if I was way over there and I was aiming at the thing, I would still be able to draw on it just fine. But you need a location to detect when the player is clicking on something, which is really hard to do in Minecraft. We're a little bit limited. A lot of people like to use carrot on a stick, which is great, except for this scenario, we need to decide which color the player has selected and which one they want to draw with. So you could do this with a carrot on a stick if you wanted to. If you wanted to switch the code over a little bit, it wouldn't be too difficult. Maybe like doing it so you could select from a hotbar at the bottom, and then this will put it in your offhand so you know what color you're in, and then you could detect when you're clicking here. That would work just fine too. But the way I'm doing it is with villagers. So I've built a little wall of villagers here. This doesn't look comfortable. So basically what I'm doing is I'm detecting when the player interacts with a villager, and none of these villagers have trades, so when you click on them, nothing will pop up, like there won't be a GUI for it. So I have a score that is testing if the player clicks it, and if it does, it'll run the rest of the functions that put everything onto the screen here. So if you're curious about how this part actually works, I will briefly describe it to you. It's a little complicated. It's not as difficult as I thought it would be, but the filling in part is a little bit weird. So basically what I'm doing is I'm using raycasting, and if you don't know what raycasting is, it's when you're detecting where the player is and where they're looking, and then drawing a straight line from their eyes forward. So if I'm looking at this block, it would draw a line from my eyes to that block over there. And what I'm doing is I'm detecting, all in a split second, it's detecting one block in front of me, testing what it is. If it's air, or in this case also a barrier, it'll move on to the next one, and then the next one, and the next one, and it just keeps moving on until it reaches concrete. Any kind of concrete, it'll know if it hits that, or if it hits any other kind of block, it'll stop. But if it hits concrete specifically, it'll detect which item I'm holding. So if I'm holding red concrete, it'll detect that, reach this block, and then set this block to red concrete. Now, filling stuff in is a little bit more complicated, so I'll try and explain what I did for this. I'm sure there's a much better method for it, but this is the best one I could come up with. So, I'm detecting if the player's crouching. That part's easy enough. So if they're crouching, when they click on the villager, it'll draw the line to the block. Once it reaches the block, it summons an armor stand at that block. From that armor stand, as fast as it can, it'll summon one armor stand in each direction. That includes this way. So I didn't really explain that, but this is very versatile. So you can go any direction you want. It can even be 3D if you wanted. I don't know what you could do with that, but if you wanted to draw in 3D, you could do that. So it'll do one in all 6 directions around it. And from there, each of those armor stands has the same thing executed. So this one will summon one in all these ones, unless there's one already in that block. Then it won't summon it. That'll keep the entity lag down a little bit. So it'll keep doing that until it detects that the block that the armor stand is summoned in isn't the same as the original block that was clicked. So eventually this will just fill up this whole thing. So every single one of these blocks will have an armor stand in it, which is why it takes a little bit of time to fill in such a huge area. Technically, no ticks pass before that happens. It's really just stopping the game, filling it in, and then starting the game again. So after it goes through and summons all of these, once it figures out that it can't do that anymore, it'll replace all of those ones with the selected color that you have over there, and then kill the armor stands. And just to demonstrate that it also does work in 3 dimensions, if I had like a little extrusion here, and then I wanted to fill this one in with yellow, I could just shift, click, and the whole thing gets filled in. Again, not super sure what you could really use that for, unless you wanted to do something like that, but I don't know. You can mess around with it. I put it in the description, so feel free to download it, mess with the code however you want. There is one drawback to all this that I can't really get around, which is the speed at which you can draw. And I haven't played Build Battle in quite a while, but I think you can draw fairly quickly because of how it's a plugin and it can run as fast as it wants. But in this scenario, I can only detect up to, I believe, 3 clicks per second just because of how fast the game runs. Technically, you can go up to 20. So if I was going to just spam click like that, you could draw a line as fast as you want. If you had like a spam clicker on your mouse or whatever, something like that, it would be able to draw up to 20 blocks per second. But in this scenario, it can only detect me clicking on this villager at a certain speed, which I believe is like 3 to 4 clicks per second if you're holding down the mouse. So you do have to go kind of slow. It will skip sometimes, but it's just a proof of concept. So it's just showing that it does work and you can use it if you want to. But I think that's about all I have for you today. If you guys like this new style of video, make sure to subscribe and join my Discord server if you want to get updates when I'm posting new stuff or get help on anything Minecraft related. You can feel free to message me or ping me or whatever if you want to ask about certain aspects of this data pack or anything else I do. I'm usually online, so I will respond and I will try and help you in any way that I can. And if you want to support me, you can go to my Patreon, which is also in the description. All my patrons get a special role on my Discord server, and you get to join in if I make like a mini game or something. For instance, if I turn this into an actual Build Battle mini game, I'd make a video on it, and any patrons will be able to join me and play and be in the video. So that's fun. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. All the links are in the description, and let me know in the comments what else you want me to make. I can do a bunch of other fun stuff like this. I have some stuff planned, but it would be good to have some ideas from you guys. Also, sorry about my art skills. See you guys.